You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so we've been talking about vitamin E, your cell's best friend. Kind of a weird one when it comes to vitamins. Vitamin E doesn't really participate in too many. Well, recently they found that it participates in some chemistry, but basically it's a protector. It's a cell's bodyguard. Cell's best friend. It guards the body. It guards our body. It guards the body of the cell. It's a literal bodyguard. And it guards the components of a cell. You know, inside a cell, this is some of the most amazing thing, maybe the most amazing phenomenon in cell chemistry is the idea that there are hundreds of thousands of little structures inside the cell. It's crazy what's going on inside the cell. We talk about the outside part, the membrane, but man, inside, there's all kinds of little structures. I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands. There's hundreds of thousands of components probably, but certainly there's thousands of little structures. Little structures inside the cell, and those little structures need protection as well. One of the most important of these little structures has been in the news a lot. It's called mitochondria. You may have heard of it. There's a lot of supplements now that protect the mitochondria. You can't protect the mitochondria necessarily with a supplement, but you can with vitamin E. I mean, I shouldn't say with a formula, but you can with vitamin E. That's one of vitamin E's main roles, is to protect the organelles. That's what they're called, the organelles, little organs. Can you imagine this? A cell has little organs inside of it. You know, a cell has a skeleton inside of it too. Not only does it have a skeleton, but when a cell divides, all kind of craziness has to occur to that skeleton. So the same skeletal structure will be in the cell that has come off of the first cell. Man, cell chemistry is absolutely mind-blowing. Anyway, vitamin E protects the fatty part of cells, the outside part of cells. Vitamin E is part of a complex of nutrients that is found in plants. You're not going to find vitamin E in animals, except for the animals that eat the plants, of course. But vitamin E is made by plants. I shouldn't say you're not going to find them in animals. Animals can't make vitamin E. They're in animals. But plants make vitamin E. And plants make vitamin E to protect their fats, particularly the seed portion. The seed portion is nature's bounty. That is the most important and fundamental element in all of the plant world is the seed. The seed portion is largely fatty. Remember, fats are about long-term processes, growth and stress management, and the seed is about, that's what it is. It's about growth, and it has to withstand stress. I'm not necessarily talking about the seed when it's dormant or when it's asleep. I'm talking about the seed when it becomes livingness. That's what the magic of a seed. Something allows it to go from this dormant state, the sleeping state, to the living state. And this is why seeds can be problematic. This is why a lot of people have problems with things like gluten and lectins and other elements that are found in seeds. They can interfere with biological processes because seeds are sleeping. So seeds have all of their livingness in suspended animation, and this livingness is kept in check by things like enzyme inhibitors and anti-nutrients. Anti-nutrients, enzyme inhibitors keep the seed asleep. But the problem is when we eat them, they act as anti-nutrients for us too. Not to mention that they can, their defensive purpose can offend us. The defensive function of these kinds of elements can have an offensive effect on us. And offense means immunity, and immunity means inflammation. Seeds are a major cause of inflammation, and seeds are also a major source of anti-inflammatory substances. It's hard to appreciate the stupendous importance of seeds. We live on the planet of seeds, and we interact with seeds all day long. We eat seeds, grains, nuts. We drink seeds. Coffee is a seed. Cocoa is a seed. We wear seeds, cottonseed, hemp seed. We write with seeds. Soy. Soy is ink. So they make ink out of soy. We write with seeds. Cellulose, paper. We use seeds to make us beautiful. Cosmetic ingredients come from seeds, cosmetic oils. We use seeds via wood to build our homes and furniture, at least byproducts of seeds. Cellulose is. Seeds are the staff of life. They're the stuff of life and the staff of life. And as we know, life as we know it would not exist without seeds. And obviously, they're critical for the proliferation of vegetation. 90% of plant life depends on seeds for reproduction, but animal life is also dependent on the contribution of seeds. In addition to fruits and vegetables, which are magically transformed from seeds, the seed is nature's richest source of, or one of nature's richest sources of fatty nutrients, omega fats, fatty acids, vitamin E, and a whole slew of protective antioxidant nutrients, or phytonutrients, plant nutrients. Seeds contain the template of plant life, and via our dependence, animals' dependence on seeds, they provide the raw materials for animal life too, for the template of animal life. Seeds are dormant. They're not living, they're not dead. They're pure potential energy. They're like an explosion waiting to happen. They contain all of the elements of life. When they're sprouted, or when they're awakened, they contain the 3 elements of life. They only contain 2 of the elements of life, really, in a seed. But once you add water and you add sun, the seed wakes up. The three major elements of life, according to this Albert St. Georgi, who is considered the greatest biochemist who ever lived, discoverer of the vitamin C molecule. Albert St. Georgi was a Hungarian biochemist and later an American biochemist. He won the Nobel Prize for his discoveries of something called biological combustion, which is basically the creation of energy from life, how life generates energy. He won the Nobel Prize. I mean, you can imagine how the kind of mind that would think along these lines. He won the Nobel Prize for discovering the processes that allow energy to come from life. He said all of livingness is dependent on information, raw material, and energy, which are somehow all 3 combined. In the seed, you got the information, and you got the raw material. The sun and the water provide the energy. Well, I'll finish up when we come back from our break, because this has a lot of relevance when it comes to nutrition and when it comes to our health.
Hey guys, Pat Matthews here to tell you all about the newest and best way to sell your products online. It's buysellmakeoffer.com, a brand new site to sell your stuff online. Your old golf clubs, sports equipment, tools, and yes, even your car. Forget about the other guys. Buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge you item fees. Go to the website now and sign up so that you can soon load all your stuff up to sell. This is not an auction site. Just use our resources along with Skype and videos to sell your items quickly and with no fees. Go right now to user-friendly buysellmakeoffer.com, where the first 30 days are on us.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
If you want to purchase any of our Truth Treatment products, go to truthtreatments.com, which is also a blog where I put some of my skincare musings. I've been in the skincare business for a long time, and man, there are so much to tell you guys about the world of skincare and skincare products. We're so bamboozled by marketing and celebrities and advertisement and pictures and manipulative PR and promotional and advertising techniques that we never do the basics when it comes to making a decision on a skincare product, and skincare companies know that good and well. What are the basics? Looking at the ingredients, reading the ingredient deck. Now, I know I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm more of a scientist than the average person, but how can we put stuff on our face, rub stuff on our skin, and not know what we're rubbing on our skin? A guy sent me an email yesterday putting the ingredient deck for one of those products that he was using. I was going to talk about that today or tomorrow. It's got 80 different ingredients in it. 80! How can you possibly do this to yourself? Rub something on your skin, 80 different chemicals, and not know what we're rubbing on our skin. Not only that, not knowing what these individual components are, but how they're working together, and we rub them on the skin. That's why our Truth Treatment products have 4 or 5, sometimes 3 or 4 ingredients in them. I think my omega-6 healing cream has about 8 ingredients. That's it. You don't want a lot of ingredients on your skin, folks, and you want to know what those ingredients are. There are ingredients in a skincare product that I used to, when I was making them, when I was making skincare and using those ingredients, when I was working for Blistex, I would wear a mask. Or in the pharmacy, if I had to make something, I'd wear a mask before I stuck the spoon in the paraben to put it into the product, or the scoop into the diazolidinylurea, to put it in the product. I would wear a mask because I want to breathe the stuff, the same stuff that we rub on our skin, likewise sunscreens, and many others. Got to be ingredient readers. Got to understand the components of things, the building blocks of things. That's what seeds are. They're the building blocks. By understanding seeds and what makes up a seed, we can take advantage of the power, the nutritional power, the life-giving power of seeds. Seeds, well, life, according to Albert St. George, is dependent on 3 elements. Albert St. George said you have to have 3 elements for life. You have to have information, you got to have raw material, and you got to have energy, and all 3 have to be combined. Seeds contain information and raw material. This is the story of the seed. Information, raw material, and then, boom, sun and water spring into life. These 3 elements, raw material, energy, and information. It's a primal trilogy in all of life. Ancient people called it the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Today, we still call it the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, but we don't refer to it the same. We don't have the same meaning. The Father's the original pattern, the genetic material that produces the raw material. That's the Father. That's the information, the pattern. The Son is what comes out of it. It's the Spirit made flesh. And then the Holy Ghost would be the energy that's coming from that comes from the sun and comes from water, and that is released in this biological combustion process. It's the primal trilogy in all of life: information, raw material, and energy. And that's not me saying it. This is Albert St. George saying it. So, by far for us, the most important part of the seeds from a biological standpoint or health standpoint, that's going to be the nutrients, especially the fatty nutrients. Seeds are one of nature's richest sources of lipophilic meaning fat-loving, lipo for fat, philic for loving, fat-soluble substances. And there's lots of them. In addition to vitamin E, you got a whole slew, a complex of fat-soluble substances that guard the fats. They're guardian fat substances. Vitamin E is one of them. Octocosanol, ferulic acid, caffeic acid, flavonoids, carotenes, lutein, zeaxanthin. These are protective elements. They protect fats and they protect us. This is why if you go to your Vision FX, you'll see lutein and zeaxanthin. These are carotenes. These are fat protectors. And they're found in plant material and seeds. They're found throughout the plant material, but they're concentrated in seeds. The fats themselves, those are the oils that are in seeds. They're not only nature's richest sources of energy, they're trapped sunlight. That's what a fat is. It's trapped solar energy. Through the miracle, the utter and complete miracle, there's no other word to describe this. It is pure miracle of photosynthesis, which is where material, matter, the sun somehow becomes material. The sun becomes matter through the action of photosynthesis. And how that happens is just mind-blowingly fascinating and complex. I'm not going to get into it, but just think. The sun gets turned into material. What's the material? Sugar. And then sugar gets turned into fat. So fat is trapped sugar, and sugar is trapped solar energy, trapped photons. Fat is nature's richest source of energy because it contains all of this energy from the sun that has been concentrated. You're eating the sun when you eat fat. When you eat oil, you're eating the sun. You get energy from the fats, but there's two special fats that not only provide us with energy, but actually they're essential. They're like air. They're like water. You can't live without them. You know, you can't live without energy, certainly, but there's two particular fats that are so important that without them you become very, very sick. They're called omega fats, omega-6 and omega-3. These are two special kinds of fats. They're like air and water. They're essential fatty acids. You know, the term acid, that confuses us sometimes. So just think essential fat. Essential meaning you better have it, fat meaning it's a fatty substances. Happens to be acidic, so they call it EFA or essential fatty acid, but essential fat. And so omega-6s and omega-3s, not only via omega-6s and omega-3s, not only are fats a source of energy, but they're a source of hormones. Hormones like hormones of inflammation, hormones of anti-inflammation, the so-called eicosanoids. Omega-6s and omega-3s are sources of hormones that control the inflammatory process. They come from seeds, and you need a balance of the two, omega-6s and omega-3s. Inflammation and breakdown and oxidation, these are all kind of similar processes. They contribute to the deterioration of the human body. Oxidation is a kind of rusting. Inflammation blocks things off, blocks out oxygen, blocks out nutrition, keeps toxicity local. Both inflammation and oxidation are similar in the sense that they're degrading. Degradatory, I think that's the word. They're deteriorating. And so the phytonutrients, these plant nutrients that protect the oils in the seed, they'll protect us from inflammation too. They're anti-inflammatory. Omega-6s and omega-3s in the right proportion. As it turns out, omega-6s have a pro-inflammatory effect, but in the right proportions, omega-6s and omega-3s give us just the right amount of inflammation and anti-inflammation. They keep one from dominating. Our bodies are made of fats and water. We're 60 to 70% water. Somehow or another, we are walking puddles, sloshing around doing our day-to-day activities. Now, that's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it, and how all of this water is somehow bound up and tied up and used and controlled and modified to create a body. That's pretty mind-blowing stuff right there. I'm not going to get into it. But basically what's happening here is fats are trapping the water. And when the fats break down, the water leaks out. And when the water leaks out, we get sick. And, by the way, we feel pain. So correct fats, anti-inflammatory and inflammatory fats in the right balance, not only are important for the inflammatory process, but they're important for pain relief and for our long-term survival. I'll finish up when we come back from our break. talking a little about fats and fatty vitamins in the world of skincare. It's all about the fats, you guys. This is one of the reasons why you want to be an ingredient deck reader, because if an ingredient is not fatty or fat soluble, it's not going to do much for your skin, at least for the lower levels of the skin. And surprise, surprise, the vast majority of materials that you put on your skin, supposedly active materials, are water soluble, not fat soluble. This is really important when it comes to vitamin C. Always, folks, always fat-soluble vitamin C. You're not going to see it very much, and sometimes you'll see a tiny little bit of it, and you need to have a good dose of it. You need to have a lot of it. That's why I came up with my Truth Treatment products, to give you guys an opportunity to leverage the unbelievable anti-aging and healing properties of fatty vitamin C. It's kind of like a combination of the electrical energy, the water part of vitamin C, the watery benefits of vitamin C, antioxidant benefits of vitamin C, intercellular effects of vitamin C in the sense that they stimulate the production of collagen and connective tissue fibers that fight wrinkles, and the fatty portion, which is how it penetrates. Fatty material can penetrate. That's what's cool about fats. They penetrate through the cell membrane to get inside the cell, or they can integrate very effectively with the outside part of the cell membrane. We're just a bunch of water somehow held intact by fat. And when that fat breaks down, that's when we get sick. Most of our diseases, our long-term chronic degenerative diseases, are fatty diseases. Just like most of skincare is about the fat, or in skin health is about the fatty part of the skin, not the watery part of the skin, largely. Inflammation, aging, breakdown, these are fat issues. That's why we talk about the gallbladder all the time. And that's why you want to keep your gallbladder, by the way. That's why we talk about the liver all the time. That's why we talk about fat metabolism, fat digestion, and fat absorption, and for that matter, fatty nutrients all the time. We spend a lot of time talking about fats. Because once those fats break down, that's when we feel pain. That's when we inflame. That's when we get old. That's when our skin gets saggy. That's when our bones start to dissolve, start to decay. When the fats are off. The watery part is electrical. That's important. The watery part is how electricity is conducted. It's how electricity is transported. That's why you want your electrolytes. And that's why you want your minerals, a lot of your minerals anyway. Some of your minerals are fatty, or at least processed through the fatty part of the body. But vitamin C, the B complex, electrolytes, some of the minerals, these are electrical. And they're very, very important, obviously. They work in the watery part of the body. The long-term stuff, the holding on to stuff, the shape-maintaining stuff, if you will, because that's what we are. We're shapes, and when our shape disintegrates, we get old and die and fall apart. The shape-maintaining stuff, that's fatty. It's the fatty stuff is what keeps us from disintegrating, keeps us from inflaming excessively, keeps us from oxidizing, keeps us from melting. I'm melting. I always think of the Wicked Witch of the West when people tell me about their degenerative issues. I always think of, I'm melting, I'm melting. This is the fats dissolving. You know, right before we die, this is kind of morbid, but right before we die, there's kind of a sloshing of liquids that nurses know to listen for, hospice nurses know to listen for, and doctors know to listen for. It's a sloshing. I used to make a transdermal medicine in my compounding pharmacy for folks in hospices before they were dying, because it was the most agonizing pain. Once the fats start to disintegrate and the fluid starts to leak out, you can hear it sloshing about. But, you know, that's extreme. That's right before we die. But it happens gradually as we age. That's why fats are so darn important, and fat processing, fat metabolism is so darn important. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about inflammation, and then talk about anti-inflammation as well. And then I really want to get into this stuff about Alzheimer's disease. I've been reading so much about Alzheimer's lately. This is an article I just pulled out from the journal Cancer Cell. Headline, inhibiting protein fibers that cause Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease points towards ovarian cancer treatment. How do you like that? The same thing that gets messed up in your ovaries when you have ovarian cancer gets messed up in your brain when you have Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Where have you heard this before? It's the same thing. All our diseases are the same thing. This is so important. You don't need any fancy schmancy specialists or fancy schmancy formulas for this and that. Inhibiting protein fibers that cause Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. I've said this for so long. The protein fibers that they blame on Alzheimer's disease are just a generic way the body breaks down. The cell membrane, the fatty part of the cell, breaks down, gets damaged, inflammation ensues, and cells go nuts. They start secreting fibers. This is one of the main things that happens when cells go crazy. They secrete fibers, and another thing that eventually happens is they explode their contents. One of which is calcium, by the way. Yes, calcium. Elevated calcium. People complain about stones and elevated calcium, and then you get this boneheaded advice, well, you better not take calcium supplements. What you're witnessing when you have calcium and stones is cells that are defective. They're exploding, and they're not handling their calcium correctly, and it's leaking out. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Tanya in Los Angeles. What's going on? Good morning.
Hi, I have two problems today. The first one is high blood pressure, and my research led me to an amino acid called L-arginine.
Love that stuff.
Wanted to know if this is the best for my problem. How does it work? What is the amount I should take? And should I be taking it in conjunction with
You got lots of questions there, Tanya. So here's the deal. I'm glad. Oh, that was one question. Sounds like you're a researcher, though. I like that. I like researchers. I'm a researcher, too. I taught you to research? Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's the ingredient day. And so that was the main ingredient on this particular product.
Oh, my goodness. Good.
Researching the product, the actual component itself.
Oh, that's awesome, Tanya. Good for you. What do you do? What's your business?
I'm an accountant.
Oh, you're an accountant. So you're used to that kind of stuff, doing research.
Yeah, sort of.
Well, that's what accountants do. Anyway. Okay, awesome. Well, hang on. Let's do one by one. Tanya, let's do one by one, okay? Okay, so here's the deal. High blood pressure is a sign of the emergency response. So one of the ways the body handles emergencies. What we call high blood pressure is not really high blood pressure. Well, it shows up as high blood pressure, but really it's a redirection of blood pressure. The blood is shunted. This is one of the ways the body handles its life, handles experience, is it redirects blood flow to where it's needed. When you eat a meal, blood flow is directed to your digestive system. When you're running, blood flow is directed to your legs. When you're being sexual, blood flow is directed to your genitals. When you're thinking, blood flow is directed to your brain. So blood flow is shunted as our experience changes. When the body senses stress, it will shunt blood flow away from the extremities towards the center of your body. This will raise the pressure, obviously, inside of your body. That's called high blood pressure. But it's a manifestation of an emergency. Sugar represents such an emergency. In fact, sugar represents a major emergency. There's certain fundamental ideas that I want to get across. The fats, importance of fats. We talked about that. We talk about that a lot. The simplicity of disease, how all diseases are the same thing. There's certain themes that repeat themselves over and over on the bright side. One of the major themes is sugar is an emergency to the body. Yes, I know. We need small amounts of sugar. And there's some guys writing these emails to me, sending me these emails about how sugar is being unfairly vilified. No, it's not unfairly vilified. Sugar is the enemy after a certain amount, which is very important. And I'm talking simple sugars. This is the major reason why diabetes and hypertension go hand in hand. All right? No matter what your diagnosis is, they could say, oh, your blood sugar's fine. No, if you're hypertensive, chances are pretty darn good that you got a sugar problem. So that's the first thing. And by the way, arginine helps you handle your sugar too. So that's another benefit of arginine. Arginine, while we're talking about arginine here, is a vasodilator. It opens up blood vessels. Tanya, I got to take a break, okay? So hang tight. We'll finish up when we come back. What's the product, by the way, you're talking about? Is it a supplement or is it a cosmetic?
It's a supplement. It's called arginine.
Okay, hang on. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll finish up. Thanks, Tanya. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we're back on The Bright Side talking to Tanya in Los Angeles. Tanya, Arginex, you said, or Arginine. The name of the product was Arginex? Tanya?
The product is it's Pro-Arginine, Pro-Arginine 9.
Okay, Arginine 9. It has a bunch of things in it. It has a bunch of stuff in it?
Right.
How much arginine is in there? Is it a tablet or capsule, first of all, before I get to that?
It's a powder.
Oh, it's a powder. Okay, good. And how much arginine per teaspoon?
It has, for one of their scoops, is 5,000 milligrams.
Okay, that's a good dose of arginine. But arginine is pretty inexpensive stuff, so you don't want to spend a lot of money on arginine. Arginine is like...
It's expensive.
Nah, that's because they make a formula. This is one of the rip-offs in the nutrition business, unfortunately. And you got to be careful. If you're going to get a formula, this is why I like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine so much, by the way. If you're going to get a formula, make sure that formula is packed, loaded with stuff. The BTT's loaded with stuff. You want your formulas loaded. Arginine is pretty inexpensive stuff, so you shouldn't have to spend a lot of money on it. Was it like $50 a pound are you paying? How much are you paying for that?
For a container, it looks like it's going to be $40.
Okay, and then what else is in there?
It's a whole bunch of different things.
Okay.
A whole bunch of different amino acids of this type.
Okay, well, let's talk about arginine and hypertension. Arginine is a growth vitamin. It helps you grow. In fact, growth hormone depends on arginine. Sugar metabolism depends on arginine. Arginine is extremely protective for the heart. Arginine is important for sexual function. Arginine is a vasodilator. It opens up blood vessels. This is why it's used for hypertension. And it's a phenomenally important amino acid. I call it super amino acid because while most amino acids have one or two nitrogen elements, nitrogen does the work when it comes to nutrition. Nitrogen does the work. That's the workhorse, is nitrogen. And arginine has more nitrogen components, more nitrogen atoms than any other amino acid. It's super amino acid is what I call it. So I consider it's conditionally essential, they say. I consider it to be a must-have, and I've been doing arginine daily for going on 20 years probably. So, and also after you work out, arginine is important. However, the major reason why you have hypertension, although arginine can help lower your blood pressure, the major reason is the body is in distress. Do you follow me, ma'am? Tanya?
Yes.
The body is in distress. That's why we get hypertense. That's why our body's hypertense. That's why we have high blood pressure. Now, stresses, emergencies can come in from many directions. Sugar is one of the major ones. Food toxicity, another major one. Emotional and mental stressors, another major one. A lack of oxygen, hypoxia, maybe the major one. In fact, that's my personal favorite remedy, quick remedy for lowering your blood pressure is breathe, relax the body. Well, breathe and relax the body, both. Do you have a blood pressure cuff, Tanya?
No, I don't.
Well, you should get one if you have high blood pressure. They're only you can get a real fancy one for like $60 or $70, and it's a digital one. Just go to Amazon, and you should take your blood pressure if you have a history of hypertension. Not so much because you want to know it every day, as much as because you want to have an element to leverage biofeedback. Biofeedback is where you actually control your biology. Biofeedback is where you control your biology by watching your biology. By watching your blood pressure, you learn to lower it. So you put on you take your blood pressure and go to the drugstore, wherever they have a blood pressure cuff, and take your blood pressure, then spend 5 minutes deep breathing, and then take your blood pressure again, and you'll notice that your blood pressure will drop. If you don't want to spend the 5 minutes to deep breathe, which is great, and we should all be doing it, sit in a hot bath. Take a hot shower. Both of those will lower your blood pressure. Now, which sounds better to you, a prescription drug or a hot tub? You know?
Hot tub.
Right?
Hot tub.
Why do you think we all like hot water? Why do you think everybody likes to sit in the hot water? You're activating the relaxation nervous system. You're lowering your blood pressure. You're fighting cancer. You're anti-aging. It's the best thing for your skin for anti-wrinkles. Plus, it's anti-inflammatory. Hot bath, hot tub. Arginine's great, though. I'm not dismissing your nutritional supplement. Other important supplements for lowering blood pressure: magnesium, potassium, vitamin E, coenzyme Q10, anything that helps you handle sugar, and especially the B vitamins, and also omega-3 fats. Those are all great supplements for helping lower your blood pressure. Between reducing toxicity, especially sugar, relaxing the body, making sure you're breathing, staying away from problem foods, and then getting on a good nutritional supplement program like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is loaded with all of those nutrients, and your arginine as well, you can lower your blood pressure. It should be one of the easiest things you could do without a doctor, without drugs, certainly without drugs. You guys, the most toxic and deadly of all the prescription drugs, or at least among them, are the anti-hypertensives, beta blockers and calcium channel blockers in particular. All right, Tanya?
Okay. I have one more.
Yes, ma'am.
I have an ankle that they think they have little tears in it, in the ligament, so it's swollen. And they want to give me a couple drugs.
To do what?
To stop the swelling, because they feel like the swelling is, if they can stop the swelling, it'll heal faster. Okay,
well, what are they going to give you?
And I have no idea, because I am not a drug person. I do not want to take them.
Well, I can't, I don't know, probably a diuretic, I'm guessing, or maybe an anti-inflammatory of some kind. Probably not a diuretic, probably an anti-inflammatory. I take that back.
And so what should I take?
Well, you can take some natural anti-inflammatories. They don't work as powerfully as drugs. Your omega fats or omega-3 fats are natural anti-inflammatories. Vitamin E is a natural anti-inflammatory. Magnesium is a natural anti-inflammatory. Staying away from sugar is an anti-inflammatory strategy. Let's see. There's tons of them. Plant flavonoids and carotenes that we've been talking about. Those have anti-inflammatory properties. Be careful with the sugar, of course. Beyond Tangy Tangerine is overall anti-inflammatory. MSM might have some anti-inflammatory properties. There's zillions of them. But I don't know. That, you may have some kind of acute trauma where the inflammatory process is really getting in the way. So I can't answer that question. If they're giving you an anti-inflammatory drug, it may be that might be something that you need. Remember, when we talk about nutrition and staying away from prescription drugs, I'm not talking about acute emergency situations. I'm talking about long-term chronic situations. If your case is an acute emergency where the inflammation, then you may need an anti-inflammatory. And I can't speak to that. If you could tell me the name of the drug, maybe call back tomorrow or send me an email. I can give you some more information.
Your email? That would be great.
Yeah, send an email, ben@ksco.com.
Okay, great.
Okay, thanks, Tanya. Have a great day. Good to talk to you. Okay. Hey, Lee in New Jersey, what's up?
Ben.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Doing pretty well. I just had 2 quick questions.
Okay.
One was about the osteo effects. So I'm on the Healthy Start Pack.
Good for you.
And I seem to get some a little bit of the runs from the osteo effects. I assume it's the magnesium citrate. I've had that problem in the past.
Did you? You're not absorbing then. It typically means you're not absorbing. You sure it's not the BTT, though?
The BTT I've been sipping throughout the day. Like you say, kind of think of it as my IV.
Okay, good. And then on the Osteo FX, you're doing a capful at once?
What did you say?
You're doing one capful and it gives you the runs, you're saying?
One spoonful.
One spoonful, and you get the runs from that, just that small amount?
Yeah, from the it's like 300 milligrams, I think, of magnesium citrate.
Is that what it is? 300 milligrams per spoonful, or is it per capful? Capful is a capful is 2 tablespoons. So you're talking.
I don't take the capsule. I just take the.
No, capful. A capful, not capsule. But capful. Capful is an ounce, and I think the supplement facts say a third of an ounce is a serving size. So that would be about 2 teaspoons. I'm sorry, 2 teaspoons full is a serving size. If you're taking 1 teaspoonful, that's already on the low side. So that tells me you're not absorbing. Excuse me, you're not absorbing all those nutrients. So what you want to do is a couple things. First of all, take your OsteoFX with food, and that'll support the absorption. And that might help you with the runs, okay? Instead of if you're taking it on an empty stomach, take it with food. Excuse me. And take it with your ultimate enzymes.
Yeah.
And meals. And maybe throw in some lecithin. Lecithin's important for fat absorption. And sometimes those minerals like the magnesium and the zinc and the calcium that are in the OsteoFX, if they're not getting absorbed because of some problem with bile, you may have that can lead to diarrhea or the runs. And lecithin is like a bile supplement. You can also do bile for that matter, bile salts. Okay. But those are in your ultimate enzymes. Okay.
Okay. One last question.
Sure.
As I'm figuring out my allergies triggers, I mean I did a blood work test, but it only included a certain amount of food. So as I'm figuring it out, how do you feel about like 25 milligrams of Benadryl just to kind of reset me so I can try it again, a different food?
To reset you?
If I do have a reaction. Yeah.
It'll hide the reaction's the problem. It's an antihistamine, so it's going to hide the reaction if there's residual Benadryl.
Once I know there's a reaction, to kind of just send me back to a base level.
In other words, once you find hang on, Lee. Once you find the reaction, you're saying take the Benadryl just to get. Oh yeah, I wouldn't. If you want to calm the reaction down. Couple things with Benadryl. Number one, your liver has to process it. Although it is a mild drug, it's certainly not like a prescription drug, like a beta blocker. But the second thing is it makes people drowsy. So 25 milligrams may take the edge. May kind of dull your senses during the day. If you did it at night, it probably help you sleep. It might. Then again, you might wake up groggy from the Benadryl. Lee, I got to go. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. And thanks for listening to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Tomorrow we'll continue talking inflammation, anti-inflammation, and fatty nutrients on The Bright Side. Have yourselves a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. you can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 pain hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
You've heard Infidel Body Armor ads for years. You've thought about investing in body armor, but just haven't found the time. Stop. Now is the time. You want the industry leader. You need a proven product. Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Products made in the USA designed to protect Americans. We make armor easy to understand and easy to purchase. InfidelBodyArmor.com. Get yours before time runs out.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Why be held hostage by your wireless carrier for 2 years? What if you had no contract, no activation fees, no hidden costs, tracking, tracing, harvesting customer data, or draconian gimmicks, all on the nation's best 4G LTE network? Introducing Pix Wireless. Bring your phone and other qualifying devices to Pix and to choose a plan starting at only $14 a month. Get connected now. Call or click 1-866-267-2056 or pixwireless.com. Spelled P-I-X, wireless.com. Pick Pix and get connected today.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or call 800-544-3533.
Dr. Joe Wallach is not your typical doctor. Both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician, Dr. Wallach asked, why does America spend more money on health care by far and yet ranks 50th in health and longevity worldwide? The doctor believes that people should be empowered with a basic understanding of nutrition, then take charge of their life to attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects, requiring more toxic prescription drugs. Talk about being dependent on drug companies, to our own destruction no less. This is clearly a deadly recipe. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the government and big pharma manipulation of our healthcare system. I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people and have joined forces to help this tireless crusader spread his message. Visit gcnminerals.com and listen to Dr. Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I invite you to join the GCN Minerals team. Go to gcnminerals.com. That's gcnminerals.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS? Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely. We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
There's a guy named Dr. Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor. Both a veterinarian and a naturopathic physician, Doc asks, why is this country spending more money on healthcare by far and ranking 50th in health and longevity worldwide? Doc believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, taking charge of their life, and attaining optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic pharmaceutical drugs that lead to side effects that require more expensive and toxic pharmaceutical drugs. Talk about being dependent on drug companies to our own destruction, no less. This is clearly a deadly recipe. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the government and big pharma manipulation of our health and healthcare system. I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare, and I've joined forces with him to help this tireless crusader spread his message. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's deadly recipe lectures. It makes a lot of sense, and I invite you to join our Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's www.brightsideben.com.